We are live. Good. Good. Don't have anybody on yet, though. We'll wait and see if Dennis shows up. Yikes, I got a lot of these things. Oops. Let's see. That's Air Force. Get that out. Golly. Caleb. Hello, Caleb. How are you, sir? Paul Hackney. Welcome from Arkansas. Well, glad to have you, brother. Glad to have you both. Yeah, we're waiting on Dennis before we really get rolling. There he is. Paul Griffith. Hello, sir. Good to have you. Good to have you. Hello, Dennis. Glad you could join us. Are you there?
Yeah, something's going on with my stupid mic again.
That's all right.
You know,
It's all right. I didn't send it through Messenger, so it's not my fault. Not this time.
yeah, I'm not exactly sure what exactly. I think it's because I didn't turn it on before I turned on the thing. What's that?
What's your stack look like? I found my old my coin collection, the rest of my coins. So I was going through them. I got my
Oh my gosh.
I got my I had a lot of coins when I was in the Air Force, but
Yeah.
when I got out, I gave them all away like an idiot because I didn't care, like an idiot.
I could fill up this box with all my coins.
Oh,
I got
really?
way too. Yes, I got way too many.
If you say so. I've only recently.
You want me to go get them?
I've only recently got quite a few. I had a few that I just kept just for fun. This
Right.
one, let me see. I had the one from when I was raised. Let's see if I can find them real quick. Can never remember. It's 2013. I got quite a few.
I never did get my coin engraved. I need to do that.
This one's one of my favorites right here.
I was fixing to go get mine and say, yeah, that's my favorite.
That was a great Grandmaster.
There's not another one I like more than that one.
Where on earth? Hold on. See, of course, got mine from Waco. Last time I went to Waco.
I'll let you keep going. I'm going to get a couple of my favorites now.
Oh, this is
now
another-
that you.
This is another favorite. This one came from Austin Lodge. I got this Billings year. And I mean,
Oh yeah,
this
that's a good one. That's
yeah,
a good one.
well,
I've got one of those.
It's got the seal of the Lodge of the Republic of Texas, which is one of my favorite seals. Well, it's not coming through. Stupid green screen. See, this one also. I think this is also Waco. Yeah.
I've got one of those in gold.
So what's great about Waco is every time there's a worshipful master, I guess I need to go again to get another coin. Every time there's a worshipful master,
They actually do what they're supposed to do and make
usually-
a coin for visitors.
They usually make a coin. Which one's first? Let's see. They don't all have the year on them, unfortunately. Got Michael Gillespie and this one doesn't even have a. This might be like a generic one. I'm not sure, but it didn't have the worshipful master's name on it. Let's just go right on through. Oh, I got a York Rat coin. What else do we have? This one's pretty dear to me because a brother that is pretty new. He's a good friend of mine, though. He got this for me just as a thanks.
What is it? I'm still looking through mine.
It's something we got off the internet. It says, because I have a brother, I always have a friend. From Masonic Man, I guess. But he gifted it to me.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dear to me. Let's see, what's this one from? Select Masters for 2020. Oh, from Don Paul Payton when he was Grandmaster of Council. Got his
I was going
coin.
to say Grandmaster.
Well, it says Grandmaster. Cody Harris. Oh, this was not a Masonic one. Oh, I took a trip to the state capitol. Well, oh, here it is. Here it is. Elmer Murphy, 2005. That's when I got my. That's when I was raised. Elmer Murphy's coin. So it's very straightforward. I think coins have kind of evolved with the
Right.
as time has
I've
gone
got a
by.
couple that are poker chips.
So this is from 2011. This is the my mother lodge, and it was for their 150-year anniversary in 2011. So I kept one of those too. And of course, I also had
I
my
cannot find.
my Air Force ring. So yeah, I just kept all my coins in one big bag, I was actually one of my children found it today. I was like, let me go through it and just see what all's in it, just for fun. So yeah, I really need to get like a display for all my coins. You know what I mean? Like those shelves they make.
Right, those little shadow boxes.
Yeah, shadow box or something. I'm getting a nice stack.
I thought about that,
You
but
must not have that many coins if you still can't find any.
dude, it's not can't find any. I was looking for two specific ones.
If you say so, Dennis.
My
If you
first
say
one
so.
is this one right here,
Hey, Dan
which
Best.
is which is from the Grand Lodge Library and Museum when they
Ooh.
had
Is that in a like a
those
plastic thing?
yes, when they had these in they had a few remaining up at Grand Lodge. I went up there 2 days later and purchased every one that they had. And
So if you missed
I,
out, now you know why, because of
if
this
you missed
guy.
out, it's because of this guy. But I've given them out as thank yous to people, and I gave every one of the members of uh, my team as worshipful master. Every one of the officers received, and a few extras that worked a lot behind the scenes. I gave them all one as a thank you.
Paul Hackney, that's because this was Illuminati money. Yeah,
This one,
Illuminati money jingles has a nice jingle to it.
this one, everyone that decides to come to the Masonic Improvement Summit will be able to get one of these if they decide they want to purchase one.
Nice.
This is specific for Oso Naval Lodge and the degree on the USS Lexington retired. It's a beautiful coin. I love that one.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites, and I've got several of them because I've gone so many times. I've got several of the coins and then the lapel pins and there was something else one year that I think I even saved one of the paper aprons that I used one year. One of the first years that I went, I didn't realize I needed an apron, and so I had a paper one. So, brothers, when you come to the summit, bring your apron,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Please bring your apron.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool to have that paper one, but man, that costs money for those guys, and they're already spending a lot of money to host us. So, anyways, those are my two favorite ones besides the one that I have yet to put my dates on.
Nice. Very
And
cool.
and I bought two gold ones like that. Hold on a second. Those are special too,
Okay.
and I'll tell you why in just a second.
Cool. I have a child incident that just came up, so if you will just be entertaining, I'll be right back.
Go ahead. I'm going to be right back, and I can always talk.
Okay.
So,
All right.
brothers, if y'all are there, y'all can hear me talk, and I'll be right back to show you what I came to grab. Um, but I got these two specific, and and some people will understand, some people may not. I think most brothers would understand. Anybody that has children, and it's more especially sons, they have, when you become a master, there's coins that you get that you can engrave all the dates on for your the dates that you were made a Mason, and then went to Fellowcraft, and then uh, Master Mason. And the ones that you get typically though are made of brass. They're nice looking brass coin. I love them. But these I bought for my boys. These are gold so that they can put their dates on there, and I'll engrave them for them when it's time. Um, but yeah, I came across these and thought, you know what? When my boys decide to join, and they will, it took me a while to join. I didn't join until I was um 38, 39 years old, something like that, because I wanted to make sure I was ready. And so I haven't, really pursued the discussion with my boys yet, because I want them to feel like they're ready. That they're good men already, and they don't need the fraternity to be good men, but I think eventually they will want to explore a little bit more and have that thing that we can share together, that only a father and son can do. And that's a fact, that with Freemasonry, um, only a father and son can share that. Nobody else in the family can. Well, no female in the family can share that, but only the men of the family can share that heritage, and
Hello, Austin
that
White.
that commonality. Hey, Austin, glad to see you there. So anyways, here's what I was showing them while you were gone. I have my brass coin that I received, but I purchased two gold ones for my boys.
What's
And
for it to be engraved?
Yeah,
I see.
yeah. So they'll have gold ones for when they become masters.
That's cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah, it's also like buying those bottles of intoxicating liquors that had numbers, for their birthdays. I did the exact same thing, and they're both.
I hope they join.
Well, actually, I didn't buy bottles. I bought memberships, right? So when you purchase a membership to this organization, you get a free bottle of whiskey.
Mm.
And so I bought a couple of memberships for the boys, and just happened to get the bottles with their number on it. And then the Grand Master signed it for me, for the boys, so that it would commemorate the year that they were purchased for them. Because it's like I was telling them, I know that they eventually become Masons, but I didn't even join until I was 39. So it sometimes it's better to make sure that you're ready. That way, when you commit, you can go all in.
39. What year did you join?
And maybe it was a little.
You joined in 1939?
I can't even remember. Right. I know.
Papa Yates.
If you look at the hairs on my man, I shaved off most of the gray. Today I was looking at it thinking, oh gosh, I'm not showing off my gray, man. It's
Man. We had a master's degree at one of my lodges yesterday. It was interesting. But afterwards, there was
why interesting. I love masters on Saturdays. That way you can really spend time with
I
them
wasn't
afterwards.
really happy with the quality of the degree. It was one of those things where,
Oh,
hold
okay.
on, hold on, hold on.
While we're holding, that's one of the things that's most important, is the quality of the degree. Not, it's a solemn occasion, and we should take it seriously.
Yeah, I actually read the excerpt from the Monitor to talk about the second section, and it's supposed to be solemn and dignified. But I read it before we started the
Yes.
actual degree, just like, hey, this applies to the whole thing, because there was an incident at this lodge with this guy's Fellcraft where it was not the quality it should have been at
Right.
all by any means.
Right.
And so I was like, hey, we're not doing that. And as far as people taking it seriously, they took it seriously. It's just a lot of people were very unpracticed. The worship master that they had come, he did like almost perfect. Um, I'm angry at myself because the Masters is my weakest lecture. I gave the lecture for that, and I messed up. Like I got all the way through to like the last paragraph and a half, and it just my brain just went flatline. Like I forgot all of it.
Well,
But
it's a long lecture,
it is a long lecture.
especially yeah, especially if you're really doing it.
So really, I mean, the worship master did a great job. Um, the candidate probably doesn't know, right? Because I
right.
know, like other people messed up, but we just rolled with it, right? So it wasn't obvious.
And that's
But
what matters is
yeah,
that yeah, that you don't interrupt the degree to suit your own ego.
oh, absolutely. But
That's the important thing.
afterwards, what was really exciting is they they had a lodge merged with them like 2 years ago, right? And I'm only recently joined and started being regular, but their dining room was full of crap just from the merge, right? And
Right.
the city had a dumpster, like one of those community-wide dumpster days, and we filled that bad boy up. Like I joined this lodge last month, and I was like, "Are we keeping this? Are we keeping this? Well, we need this. We already got one. Let's get rid of this. You know, which one's nicer? Let's get rid of the one that's not as nice." And so
Right.
we uh, just cleaned house, and so it looks so much better. But like the reason I joined this lodge is because it needs a lot of help. Like the floors need redone, the walls need redone, but you couldn't see how bad it was because there was so much stuff. Like you knew it was bad, but you couldn't see what needed
Right. You
done.
could smell it, but you couldn't see it.
Yeah, so we're
That's
making
funny.
progress towards that, but very rarely will a lodge actually be willing to part with things. So as long as the right people were there and they were willing to get rid of some stuff, we just kept it flowing, man. Zach Smith says, "Good evening, fellas." Hello, Zach.
Yeah, he just sent me a picture of myself and you.
Austin Austin says, "Justin, you ready to hang tomorrow? Are you coming to Hillsboro? Of course you are. Of course you are. Why wouldn't you? Yeah, yeah, Austin. Let's hang tomorrow if you're coming." Let's see. He also says, "I helped with a floor school in District 45. They had a nice long chat with this dude who kept talking about McKinney."
Yeah. Well, in McKinney, I can tell you, they always do it well. They always do it right, and it's a premier lodge. There's a reason it's a Vanguard lodge, and it
Nice.
has been for many years.
Well, Austin, if you're coming to Hillsboro tomorrow, I'm definitely looking forward to that. We have a really great York rat, and so I'm glad you're coming to that.
Yeah, don't compare them to McKinney. You don't want to hurt their feelings or anything, but it
Hello,
they're
Oscar
probably
Cordova.
pretty good for who they are.
Well, so uh, hold on, let me respond to this text. Speaking of Austin,
No, go ahead. Yeah, we were talking about that. I told him that I had joined um, the York Ride in McKinney because it was, part of the lodge and stuff, and that's where the chaplain council and commandery met. What the beautiful thing is that the master of my lodge was so serious about the work that he conferred all 3 degrees on me, and we were talking about Brother Bobby McKee, and a lot of our listeners out there know Brother Bobby McKee, and if you don't know Bobby, if you ever heard him once, you would know Bobby. He has this real deep, raspy kind of voice, and it just melts like butter and brown sugar. But what
what?
but the cool thing, no, seriously,
Okay,
the cool
Dennis.
thing is Bobby gave the lectures, and that voice, and you could hear the tenderness in his tone when he was giving it, that it really meant something to him. And oh my gosh, talk about an impression. So that's why I used to always say, well, Kenny, we did it like this, because man, these guys had it going on. They still have it. I mean, they're just a great group of men, and they're leaders in their area for what they do.
So anyway, the long story. So Matt Fisher messaged me a couple of months ago. There's a grotto that's looking to relocate. Yeah, so they're going to come talk to us at Hillsboro about possibly relocating there. and it's something we had talked about maybe doing sometime. And I was like, man, you really need to come to our York ride. That's really we need to come give a presentation. And I could like tell it like the skepticism. He's like, why would I come to your York ride, not your bunch of Blue Lodge? It's like, man, everybody, like, we pull from a pretty wide range for our York ride, right? And these are the people that are the joiners, that are active in the district. So these are the people you need to be talking to. And so we average about 15 or 20, but it's pulled from all over the district. We got people from other districts that come pretty regularly. So it's gonna be pretty sweet. Zach Smith. Zach, I didn't get a picture. He says, Zach, it says, this is a picture I sent Dennis. I've been working on an all in-house website. Thoughts so far. Zach,
Oh, it is, Zach. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I got the picture.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, send me the picture because I don't think pictures come through on chat. Also,
brother.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead and ask.
Also, White says we need another member-only Zoom. And then Jean Co. Sands says, hello, brethren, from El Paso. Hello, Jean. Good to have you, sir.
Welcome. Glad to see you made it. That's awesome. That's one of my favorite places to go for Freemasonry is out to El Paso. And the reason why is because I hang out with brothers in El Paso. I hang out with brothers in Juarez. I hang out with brothers in Las Cruces. I get to really experience Freemasonry all over when I go out there. So welcome. What I was going to say is that for those of you who don't know, Zach is working on a website for us for Masonic Improvement. And he's been working on this behind the scenes. And he just sent us pictures. He's watching the YouTube through the website right now. While all of us are doing it through YouTube, he's watching it through the website. So
what the heck? Wow. Tell me what what I'm looking at. It's like, whoa. That's
right.
Really cool.
So that's pretty badass. That that's coming, guys. That's coming to where we'll be logging into our website and we'll be pulling YouTube from there, and we'll be watching it on our website.
Yeah, dude,
that's going to be cool.
This looks sweet.
I know.
What's this members thing on the left? Does it show the members too? I mean, he's pulling a lot of good info. Yeah, I mean,
well, and that's one of the things is that we're going to be capturing membership information, whereas all these other sites, YouTube, pick your poison, whatever platform you're using, they all want all the information for themselves because they're selling that to somebody else, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to move it. We're still going to use YouTube, and they'll still have their information, whatever, but we're going to transfer that information to us so that we can reach out to our brothers and our listeners and say, hey, we've got this special event coming. Come on out and see us.
Yeah.
Come out and be a part of it. So it's really cool what Zach is doing, and I'm so grateful, and he's doing such a great job at it. And after we finish building this website, we're actually going to have a segment on there to where Zach and I are going to work together and create a informational video on how to build a website on the cheap for your lodge if you can't afford it. But then you'll also have the opportunity to see what Zach does and look at what a professional can do.
Yeah.
And I want to fully support that and support any brothers that can afford to do it for their lodge to have Zach help them after you see what he's doing for ours.
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be awesome. We got so many good things going right now. Oscar Cordova, by the way.
But we'll have the offer of the other.
Oscar Cordova gifted a membership, and Dan Best received it. So, congratulations, Dan, and thank you, Oscar. I always appreciate the gifted memberships. So going back to what Dennis was saying, so the free with ad videos, those will still be primarily on YouTube, right? Because that's kind of what attracts people to the YouTube
Right.
is
We need the
the
algorithm.
but
We
yeah.
need it.
But as far as like the members only stuff, like the ad free and the exclusive content and all that, that's going to be through the website. It'll still be on YouTube, but it's going to be through the website, and that gives us a few advantages, in that we can YouTube kind of keeps the information to itself, right? Like who the members are and things like that, which make it difficult because we don't have addresses, we don't have ways to reach out to y'all individually, and we don't have an easy way of keeping up who the members are, because when members come and go, YouTube just kind of it didn't tell you who left or anything. So this basically, long story short, will let us keep track of who our members are. We'll have address information so that if we want to send you something, like a thank you gift or something like that, we can send it to you directly. We don't have to reach out.
Which is a lot of the
Yeah.
reason why we're doing this, is so that we can reach out to you and show our appreciation.
Yeah, yeah. So it's gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. And based off what I'm seeing, you're talking about professional. I've never seen a professional do anything like that. I mean, this is
Right.
a whole nother level. So I'm really
Right.
excited.
This is cool.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm feeling giddy. Man, Zach's got me feeling
Okay.
giddy. Well, seriously, I get excited over technology and stuff. I love seeing it put to good use and not just wasted.
Typical
It's
Gen Xer, just excited by technology.
yes.
Got buttons.
Yes.
Get excited. Gene says, I'm looking forward to seeing that video and help my mother launch with the website. Thanks for that, brother. Yeah, it's going to be. And we've talked about a few other things, almost like workshop kind of things. So and that would also be exclusive for members to the
Yes,
website.
we're going to have that. Yes, we'll have those kind of things as well that we plan on expanding. This summit is going to be more about it's going to be leadership. It's going to be Masonic leadership and inspirational leadership within Freemasonry. But Justin and I are developing other videos as well, and we're also developing other types of informational topics to help brothers in their lodge and in their positions in their lodge and stuff like that. Just tips and tricks. Tips and tricks from how I screwed up. That's don't do it like this. Do it like this.
Yeah, Austin sent us some pictures. The Honorable Order of Santa Barbara. I guess it's it's a military thing.
Santa Barbara, California.
No, it says the Honorable Order of Santa Barbara. Something looks like I can't make it out. But it's got a medal and everything. So it's let's see.
He's showing a coin because we were talking about coins earlier. Is that it?
No, it's let's see. Looks like an honorable thing for veterans, maybe, or retirees. I'm not sure. Yeah, he said it has like.
I see it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool,
that's
man.
very cool.
Certificate
That
of
is very
retirement.
cool.
You sure you don't? It's probably not too late to stay in if you want to, Austin. They'll probably take you back.
Nice.
Congratulations,
Man, that's cool. That's cool.
I'm proud of you, man.
There's, that I'm glad that you showed us that, and not just because you're a veteran, but because it also goes back to some of the recognitions that we should be doing in lodges as well. Like, when we make a Master Mason, we should have good presentations during that or after that, and not just the typical ones that are said to be done, but I'm talking about like a nice certificate, and not just the one for the George Washington Museum, but a real nice certificate, a nice past master certificate, different things like that. There's things that it's kind of like you graduated. Sorry, I didn't freeze. That was me.
There's a few
My
comments
brain
here.
froze.
Zach Smith says he's excited for the website. Also, he made it from scratch, so it allows him to do a lot of fun stuff that your typical drag and drop website does not do. And also, Watt
Yes.
says St. Barbara is a patron saint of artillery, which I did not know had a patron
Nice.
saint, but that's cool.
Nice.
I was going to say, adding on to what you're saying, Dennis, um, when I was a worshipful master, when I left the East in 2013, my lodge actually gave me two things. They gave me a past master certificate, as well as a certificate of oh gosh, just like outstanding service, because they thought I did like a really good job as worshipful master,
Right. Right.
and that meant a lot. That meant a lot to me. And then my second time I was a worshipful master in like 2015, 2016, I got nothing. And I was like, that's kind of, it seems like you should be getting something, like at least a past
Chopped
master
liver.
certificate or something. And so, yeah, you should get a past master certificate when you leave the East. And I'm a firm believer. Anytime you give anyone a certificate, I don't care if it's a down member certificate or a past master certificate or anything in between, you should frame that thing.
Yes.
I mean, endowment is at minimum $500. You telling me you can't buy me a frame for my certificate?
Yeah. Right.
Um,
Right.
and also,
Yeah, they're only $8 at Hobby Lobby, guys, for the black, good looking
yeah,
certificate frame.
also to that point, like when someone gets a master's degree or EA degree or fellowcraft, like, oh my gosh, hold on.
Well, in that regard, while he's talking about that, you know, in all of our several stations in life and in our fraternity, we've received recognition
Sorry about
for
that.
the a job well done,
Yeah,
and so we shouldn't take that lightly when someone does do a good job. Just saying good job, that's yeah, that's cool. We don't do it for the recognition, but it is nice to hear it every once in a while. It's just like
oh my
when
gosh.
my wife gets mad at me for not telling her great job on whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it's just every once in a while it's nice to hear it.
Well,
So
well, go back to what I was saying. Like when we were at Grand Lodge, we were looking at the stuff that they're selling like Fossil Bluff. Like they got shadow boxes for Master Mason, like the past masters, EAs and stuff. It's like
right.
add that to the price of your degree and give them something for their degree.
Yes.
Like make it
Yes.
something that's it's a momentous event. Give them something, dang it. And you're talking about like thanking your wife and acknowledging. Not everybody requires that kind of validation, right?
Right. I don't require it.
I
I
don't
don't at all.
usually, but it's also, let's see, I don't do things for the validation, but like the past master certificate, I didn't become martial master to get a past master certificate, right? But the fact
Right.
that I didn't get one, I mean, this has been 7 years and it still kind of sticks in my craw, right? And so that's my point. You should still validate even if they don't need it, because when they don't get something, why'd you not give them something, right? Like, did
Right.
they do a bad
Right.
job? What's the deal?
Right. It's kind of like a medal of honor. You
It
know,
is.
you're grateful for the service that they put in and the sacrifice that they made that earned that medal. And it's kind of the same thing, because if you're taking
What?
your job seriously as a master, then you are sacrificing a lot to make sure that lodge is run well and efficiently and effectively, and that something is happening during your time in office.
Austin, I've never seen these before, or I didn't. I take it back. I've seen them before, but I didn't know the Grand Lodge had them on the website. The certificate's like $7, right? Not counting the frame or anything like that.
Oh yeah, I
So
know.
why don't we do that? Why don't more lodges do that?
$15 to say thank you.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, I know of a master that bought his own because his lodge didn't,
That's crappy, dude. You shouldn't have to.
just so
I
that he would
remember.
have that put on the wall
Yeah,
with his along with his graduate certificates from college. He wanted to have his past master
yeah,
certificate. Imagine that he would be that proud of serving.
yeah. Zach, I got your message with the video. I'll watch it once we're finished with the live. A few years ago, it might have been year before last or year before this one, at Grand Lodge, there was an old timer, and it was probably like his 80-year certificate or something. I mean, it's just something no one gets because no one has been a Mason that long usually.
Right.
And they
Right.
call him up there, and poor old guy, he can barely make it up the stairs. He's in the middle, and they give him a piece of paper. It's like, dude, this guy's 80 years old. At least put it in a frame or something.
Right.
So, like I said, the frame is a thing. It's a big thing for me. If you're going to give him something, if it's supposed to be important, it's supposed to be special, then at least say it's special enough to put it in frame for the guy.
I agree.
It doesn't have to be an expensive $100 frame, but put it in some kind of a picture frame.
Right. Right. I agree 100%.
The worship master at my lodge got so tired of that he actually, I don't know if he got tired of it. I'm putting words in his mouth. But he actually, he went and bought like 10 picture frames for the lodge, just so that we would not give anything out without a frame. It
Right.
rubs him the wrong way too.
That's good. That's good. And that's only $80. I mean, if you can't pitch that in as a worshipful master, then you probably shouldn't be a worshipful master.
Yeah.
You know, there's things that need to get done as worshipful master that you just don't want to wait and ask the approval of the lodge.
Yeah.
And picture frames is one of them. You just buy them.
Just buy 'em.
And,
Well, give the secretary some leeway. Like, say, like you got a budget of X amount to spend on secretary stuff, and
right.
you something that buy some. So Austin, sorry, not Austin, Zach. I'm looking at that video. I went ahead and watched it, like you said, and dude, this is looking tight. Did you get the video too, Dennis?
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, that looks awesome. I'm very psyched. That's fantastic. So,
yeah, the back to what you were talking about, as a master, you know, when I went in, I wanted the installation to be nice. So I bought all new tablecloths for the lodge and place settings and stuff like. I mean, that way it was a nice setting, and they still have the use of it today. We invite every year. We have brothers come down from all around the state, all around the country to see the Phantom Memorial, and they come to our lodge. And you know, it irks me that when we don't have tablecloths out for them and make it a nice event. You know, everybody's dressed up in a suit. All the ladies are dressed up. Why would you just have them sitting in hard chairs with no tablecloth?
mm-hmm.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Especially if it's like a plastic picnic table or something, like a lot of lodges do these days.
Right.
It's like,
right.
Just put a tablecloth over it, and no one even knows now, right? It's just like a table. Yeah, I agree.
Well, and not only that, but the community sees us because we have a covered patio at our lodge, and we can put 70 people under that covered patio. And so we set it up out there. So the whole community sees us breaking bread together with a nice setup, with looking good, feeling good, talking good, and representing all for the purpose of our city and our heritage.
I love it, man.
You know, that's important stuff. That's stuff we got to keep in mind. It's the little things.
Well, the little things add up, right? If you can't handle the little things, you definitely can't handle the big things.
Well, that's a fact. I was reading in Webb's Monitor today, and it was talking about wisdom, strength, and beauty. And
I saw your Sunday stir.
Yes. So, yeah, I had so many texts.
Oh,
it's sad that people text me and say, "Man, that's just spot on," and they're afraid to say it online because they're afraid of what's going on this year. But anyways, on there, the adornment is so, the beauty is so important. It's that little attention to detail that sets us apart from the rest of the world. And we've forgotten that. That's one of the things we shuffle under the rug, and we think we say, "Oh, it's the internal, not the external." Well, you know, there's something to be said about that. And
Yes.
I'm not going to go on a rant, but that's a bunch of horse manure.
Yes. Whenever I give that EA lecture, I be sure to emphasize the right parts of that, just to be
Yes.
sure that it doesn't necessarily mean that we're a charity. We're supposed to be cheap. It just means that we're not. That's not a qualification to join. That doesn't necessarily mean that you still shouldn't be willing to invest in yourself and invest in your lodge.
Well, the thing is that we take charity out of context. If you look at charity in the Bible, it was misinterpreted throughout the years with the newer Bibles, but the original interpretation was love, and being charitable to other people was showing brotherly love to mankind.
Mm-hmm.
And now all of a sudden it's become, oh, we've got to do raffles and fundraisers and fish fries and this and that, and that's just not what charity was meant to be.
Yeah.
That's not what the intent was, the original intent of the work.
I'm having a hard time finding your post now. I was looking for it,
Oh,
but
oh hell!
no, I just can't find it. But
Somebody probably knocked me off too.
but anyway, but yeah, I got into this with a brother the other day, and he's like, "Well, what about the charity part?" It's like, charity is different than taking other people's money and relocating it, right? That's a redistribution of wealth. That's what most lodges do. It's a
Right,
redistribution of wealth, right? Charity is giving of yourself, right?
right,
Charity is hard. It's not pleasant. If I spend 2 hours frying fish, take that money and donate it, it didn't cost me anything unless I donated some stuff to the lodge, right? All it took is my time. It didn't financially cost me anything. But if I give
right,
$20 or $100, that's charity, and I'm talking about directly
right,
to something. That's how we do the
right,
work right at my lodge. We don't fundraise. We gave money. We help out like some families in need around Christmas and stuff. And what we did is we got a list of what the kids were looking for, and either we would buy it
right,
directly or we donated money, our own money,
right,
right?
right.
But there was no fundraising. That's charity.
Yes,
That impacted us because we gave our money, bought some things, and donated that. But knowing that
that's one of the. Go ahead.
but knowing that a kid had a Christmas that they would not have otherwise had made it well worth it.
Right. Well, that's one of the beautiful things I love about the Scottish Rite is, we have our charities that we support, the actual charities, the Scottish Rite Hospital and the School for Dyslexia. Those are, and the School for Dyslexia, well, let me get it right. Scottish Rite School for Learning, and it happens to be about dyslexia. The That's my favorite charity. But what I really love is at the end of the meetings, and there's a certain time. Um, Keep this in mind, Oscar, because I know you're going to become a member soon. There's a certain time when it's the almoners fund needs to be replenished, and that almoners fund goes to brothers in need, families in need upon the death of a family member or a brother, and it actually goes towards supporting our families of Freemasonry. And it always says, take out what you would only give what you would normally spend frivolously on yourself
Yeah.
in the day.
There it
And
is. Go ahead. I'm
talk
sorry.
about talk about an impactful thought. Think about the money that you spend frivolously on yourself. And we think we need all this stuff, but we really don't need all this stuff. So think about if you were to take part of what you spend on yourself and give it to a widow or an orphan, or the family of someone who we've just lost. Help with the meal instead of it having to be their church. Help with their meal at the funeral services. Help with the funeral services. That's brotherly love and affection.
Yeah.
That's charity. That's what it's all about, in my opinion.
Why don't you give us the Cliff Note version of your Sunday Stir, because Lucas Mittner had made a really good comment that I'd like to share in context with that.
Okay, and Lucas, I'm sorry I hadn't read it because I hadn't even looked back since I wrote it. So the Cliff Notes version is basically going through um, the different thoughts on. Well, it's hard to do it properly because, the thoughts. I was reading a monitor earlier today that's a very, very old monitor. It's older than Lightfoot's monitor, and it was talking about the charges to the Mason, the new Mason, and the one that I'm sure stirred up the most. Dang it! Just a second. Go ahead. Go ahead and talk. Let me pull it up. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version.
Well,
But I need to
while you're pulling up,
because
Gene says the concept of charity in Hebrew came from a Hebrew word which I'm going to try to pronounce right. And it's supposed to start as a small circle with your family, then extend to your community, then your synagogue or temples, and then your country and so forth. And absolutely, and I think that's why when we're talking about charity in the Masonic context, it's always talking about yourself and your family first, right? Think of like the master's closing. You start with yourself and your
or
family,
look at your obligation.
or yeah, look at your obligation.
Tells you exactly what your charities are.
Yeah, and then it moves on to your brothers and their widows and so forth, and goes from there, right? So yeah, I agree, and that makes total sense in that context.
So
So
there's a
basically, you should
lesson.
take care of yourself. He commented more. You should take care of yours first, like you and your family, and then keep ascending as a big circle. So take care of you and your family first, and then your brother Masons and their widows and orphans, and then go on from there. I like that.
So yes. So the post was where Masons meet, and we always talk about, well, we meet at the lodge, whatever. But anciently it was discussed that it was the highest hills and the lowest vales, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like the height of the hill and the lows of the valley, basically, is what the thought is. And the high of the hill is in prosperity, not just meeting up there for whatever reason. The lowest of the low was against adversity, within adversity, so that you're in the fight. You're not just sitting around watching the world crumble. You're not just sitting around watching your fraternity crumble. You're not just sitting around watching your brother fall. You're taking an active approach to your life and to those around you. You're in the adversity and you're trying to make a difference. That's your goal. And then the wisdom, strength, and beauty, the pillars of Freemasonry. Um, Wisdom, it gives you the ability to contrive, to think up what needs to be done. Strength gives you the ability to support what you're doing, and beauty is to adorn what you're doing as you do it. So it makes the right impression. The those are important things to think about, and it's black and white. It's not it's not a, well, this is how I feel about it. No, it's black and white is exactly what the intent is supposed to be, and yet we forget about that sometimes.
Yeah.
We manipulate words and the intentions of those words to suit our own laziness, our own ego, our own complacency. You know, we as humans do that, right? But as Masons, we should be working towards the better and not doing that, and always being aware of that as you go. And those are some of the first lessons that you're learning in Freemason.
I love it, man.
And that's written, so it's okay for me to talk about it.
Lucas Mitten says, I've been at odds with Brethren over what you just said. I'm not saying we can't do fundraisers, but when a lodge uses fundraisers as a way to keep the doors open, you have an issue. I'm not even accounting for calamitous events such as a tornado taking the roof off, so on. I'm talking about fundraisers to get the community to pay for us to have the lodge to annually charge its members less in dues than many members spend on a good dinner with their family. It's not the community's job to support the lodge, it's the lodge's job to support the community. I love that, man.
Yes.
I love that. But yeah,
Brother Minton, wow, you just knocked it out of the park.
We should have him come talk at our summit.
We should. Huh. Afterthought, brothers. Guess who's going to be there? Brothers. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Brother Minton.
Brother Minton, yeah, yes.
Brother Lucas Minton, Grand Senior Deacon for the Grand Lodge of Arkansas. He is one of our special guests and speakers at the summit, and that's exactly why. He always has the best insight to give on things of that nature.
And members, boosters and higher, already have access to the full video, right? And me and Dennis Bataka, we're actually going to start rolling out the full video. We don't normally do this, right? Normally the full video is members only. However, since these are speakers that are going to be for the summit, we're going to start rolling them out for everybody, because it's so important that everyone really understands, because the short public videos are just a taste. It's just a taste of the insight they have to offer. If you're on the fence about going to this summit, then you really need to watch these full videos, and we're going to put them public, because you really need to know what you're going to be missing out on if you don't go, and it's significant. Like usually our interviews are like an hour and a half, and the public video is like 15-20 minutes long. So
right,
there's a lot of content, and it's well worth it. But members only already have access to that, and ad free. So, if you're a member and you hadn't watched it, go watch it. But we will be releasing the entirety of those summit videos. I'm probably gonna make a playlist just for that also. The Masonic Summit.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to, for sure.
So keep an eye.
But yes, he's one of the ones that, anytime he talks on the posts, on any posts, I'm always listening. Oh, yeah. I love spending time with Brother Minton, and I love visiting with him. He's to go, okay. In speaking of the strength and beauty, and the wisdom, strength, and beauty. So that night when we went to record, he was already long after work and all that kind of stuff, and I actually had to suit back up because he had dressed.
Lucas?
Yes, because he suited up like he always does, and he said, look, if I'm going to go on a broadcast that's going to broadcast around the world, I want people to see my best. And he had on a suit, bow tie, he was full on. I love him. I love the way that he represents himself and the fraternity, and the way he talks about it and supports it. And so, just since we were talking about beauty and the adornment, it's not that he's being pompous. He just wants, when people look at him, they want to see a professional. They want to see, he wants them to see a professional that cares about what he's doing, that is one step above the others in his area. He's a financial planner as well, and he definitely wants to always look better than the guys that aren't going to care for their clients as well as he will. Yeah. Those are the impressions you give when you show up. You don't go to a job interview with shorts and flip-flops, do you?
Do you? Maybe in South Texas.
I might have.
No, no, I know what you mean.
I can't say I got that job,
Well,
but
when you're a financial planner or selling insurance or anything like that, for that matter, uh, you're always you're always interviewing for a job everywhere you go,
always.
always,
Yeah.
um, because you.
In my opinion, everybody is.
Well, yeah. So that's why I don't wear flip flops and shorts that you know of.
Do you want, yeah, do you go to a city council meeting wearing flip-flops and shorts
Oh, of
in
course
your
not.
fisherman's t-shirt,
Of course not.
that has stains all over it? No, because if you want people to take you seriously, you're going to look like you care about what you how you talk, you care about how you look, you care about, what's going on around you. You showed up to be a part and to offer intelligent information towards
Hmm.
the
And,
points of debate.
and if you are doing like what we do, right? That's why it's important to have as professional a setup as you can, as money will allow, as well as like when you're writing and stuff. It just depends on what you do, right? If you're a blogger, it's really important that you got the writing part down right. Like it's spell check, it's formatted right, and all that. If you do the video, it's important that you have the lighting right and a good camera. Um, Same thing with podcasts. Like you want to have a good. I guess you'd use a camera for a podcast too, because you want the quality of the audio. No, 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 a mic. You want a quality mic, and
Yes.
so it just depends on what you're doing. But it's important to really present yourself. I think to that point, like Brad Billings, like he presented himself really well as a grandmaster. Like every time you saw him, he was. It's not like showing off your wealth. It's showing off. Hey, this is a prestigious position. I'm going to dress the part, right? And like every
Right,
time you saw
right.
Brad Billings, like he was dressed the part. And so, anytime you're doing anything like that in life in general, it's you should always dress the part. And if you aren't at that position yet, but you have aspirations for that, you should still dress the part. Dress for the job you want, not the job you have, kind of mentality.
Yes. Well, I there's one of the talks that I give, one of the presentations I give is about the apron and the adornments on the apron and what they all mean and stuff, and not deeply into what they all mean, but um, basically that if you wear a certain apron, then somebody who wants to know about what you know would come to you and ask you, right? Because you show, like my past master's apron for the state of Texas. It's unique to Texas. And that tells people without me saying anything that if you want to know something about Texas Freemasonry, I'm the guy to ask. If you want to know about being a past master, I'm the guy to ask.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody else is wearing a white apron, he may be a past master. But are you going to go up and ask him? Probably not, because you don't even know he's a past master. So, and it's just like with the background behind me, what's important to me. When you were talking about Brad, I was thinking about his interview, and it was very similar to Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
Brad had his library behind him. He had several different artifacts from over the years of Freemasonry behind him that it told you without him saying a word what was important to him
Yep. Exactly.
without saying a word.
And do you remember that
So
really
it's
cool
not.
scythe he had?
Oh, I do remember that really cool site.
Scythes,
You know
scythes are
what?
really cool, aren't they?
They really are, especially when they're handmade and forged by a person that's going to be on our show, who is going to be at our event, um, who is a smith, just like Hiram was.
like Zach,
Hiram was.
like Zach Smith.
Zach is a smith. He is definitely a smith, but his smith is technology. I can tell you,
Oh,
just by seeing his work,
he's a tech
he
smith.
is a smith.
Got you.
Yes, yes. But this smith is a smith of metal, and he forges knives and other artifacts. And he's going to be a guest on our show because he is making a special artifact for us for our event for our auction,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not going to tell you yet.
You have no
But
idea
Justin,
what it's going to be now. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that it's completely handmade, hand forged, as well as the wood that's going to be on it. It's coming from one of my mesquite trees, which is in the same family as an acacia. Mesquite and Weisach is actually in the family of acacia.
What the heck is Weisach?
If Weisach, oh my gosh, that's what you see when you drive through South Texas, and all you see is this ugly looking brush everywhere, so thick that you can't walk through it. That's Weisach,
Oh.
and it is the hardest thing to get rid of because it's got a deep root, and you can pull it up and break it up, but it's going to grow right back, and it's going to grow back tenfold.
So it's usually a shrub with very deep root.
Yes, it is. It is a shrub with very deep root.
Nice. Yeah, Zach
But
says
anyways,
he can confirm that he's a smith. Yeah. Yeah.
we finally got something right.
Yeah. Yeah. So funny, man.
But I'm totally stoked about this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell them, brothers. If y'all don't know of Mickey Allen, MickeyAllen, look him up on Facebook or Instagram. He is a forger of metal, and now this is his hobby, and he does it for masons, and he makes knives, swords. He started by making knives out of railroad stakes.
Yeah.
From
spikes.
Just getting railroad stakes. Yeah. So that's but we're gonna really present him on the next show, or not the next show, but one of the upcoming shows. And he's actually forging us a scythe that is hand forged, and it's gonna have a handmade handle.
In case you didn't deduce what it was going to be from the context of our conversation. Yeah. Scythe. It's going to be awesome.
Yes. Well, the good Mason knows that, death is always around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to always be working at our craft, always be working on ourselves and our community, because we never know when that day is going to come, and it could be right around the corner.
Yeah. It it's your legacy, right? You're not working your tail off for you. You're working. It's a concept of planting trees for future generations, right? But you don't know how much time you have to plant those trees. Yeah, I mean, you could say, well, when I get older, when I retire and I have time, I'll do this and this and this. You don't know if you have that time.
Right.
You could. I almost had a car accident last week on 35. Like if I left, like I was driving home, no cars anywhere around me. The service road had another road that there was a T intersection, and this car came plowing through that T intersection across the grass, like came right in front of me, and like got on the road like they corrected themselves, but scared the hell out of me, right? But if I left 30 seconds earlier that day, or if I drove 2 or 3 miles faster the whole time, I would have got like T-boned out of nowhere.
Yes.
It could have died. Who knows? And so you never know. And the point is, like, you only have so much time to do things. So it's important you take advantage of the time you have now.
Yes, absolutely. But that's one of the big reveals that we just let out of the bag a little too soon, I think. But this is the live.
You did it.
You mentioned it. You instigated me.
I was actually impressed. I was like, "Oh, Dennis didn't reveal what it was. That's impressive." And then, like, oh, okay.
I know.
Nobody twisted my arm.
I had to.
Go ahead and say it.
It's just too exciting. It's too exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome, though.
Yeah, Mickey is a great Mason, and
someone posted a sword that he made.
Yes,
maybe it was the Masons of Texas. I mean, it's a nice looking sword.
He's made a couple of them. That was Mickey that showed this last one, but he also made a sword for Brother Roy Burris, um, last year, and it's beautiful. It's magnificent. And he's also making my sword and dirk for the Knights of St. Andrew for when I become chief.
Cool.
Hopefully, I will become chief because it's going to cost me money, and I'll have these swords for being a chief that I wouldn't need if I don't become a chief.
Well, you'll have the weapons
But
to take it forcefully.
that's
If you
right.
have to.
I'll take it.
So David Lawson says he's turned
Freedom.
Weesatch on his lathe, and it's a very hard wood. So yeah, I don't think mesquite's a hard wood though. I
There,
chopped down quite a few mesquite trees when I was a kid. I don't remember it being hard. I'll tell you what is hard is horse apple, bodark.
it's not. It's hard. It's not dense. Horse apple is dense.
Yeah, horse apple is very dense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference. It's a lot like maple. Maple is, oh my gosh. You want to break your back? Pick up a maple log.
Hmm.
It's some of the most dense wood I've ever had in my life.
Yeah,
I've ever picked up in my life.
yeah. I chopped down a bodark tree when I was like 20s. It took me several days. Like you would start chopping and you get wore out and come back a few days later, chop some more, and eventually just give up and just start a fire and burn the whole thing down. I mean,
That's funny.
bodark. You want a good handle, use bodark, but the problem is getting it
Right.
right.
Yes. You still got to be able to work.
So I wonder if bodark's related to acacia because it also has thorns.
Huh.
What a lot of people don't realize is
Maybe.
acacia actually has thorns. It's a thorny
Right.
tree. Like some
Right.
gnarly thorns. Really,
Which makes
in context, some of the things about the acacia don't really make sense in context of our lore, but it's still interesting. It's all symbolic, I think.
Oh yeah. I was talking to a brother, and the way that a lot of the mesquite and Weisach came up here, um, he educated me on this.
It was on the show. Someone told that
Yes,
story on the show.
yes, that was Scott. Yes, Scott McMahon.
Yeah.
He's a brother and the director of the Presidio de la Bahia. And yeah, he was talking about that. For those of y'all who didn't see the show, which you really ought to, it's a good show. Um, it came from the hooves of the cattle that came up from Mexico. And I will stretch to say that it's the cattle that was stolen from Mexico by the people who took the land down here also,
Yeah.
like King's Ranch and King Ranch and what's that other one down here? Well, the O'Connors have a huge ranch down here, and then oh golly, it's on the tip of my tongue. But anyways, there's three big ones that, yeah, those guys didn't just magically have cattle. They went and took it.
Probably in
Bunch
the
of cattle
the
thief.
seed pods they ate too. In the
Yeah,
manure.
well, that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing is the manure would get stuck to their heels and or to their hooves, and they would walk up here, and now all the land is full of it. Everywhere that was cattle country has Weisach all over the place, and it's one of the biggest and mesquite trees,
So
one of the biggest things to get rid of.
my lodge just got a message from Ahmed Embroidery with the generic, "Hey, we're an exporter of all kinds of fezzes and aprons," and this goes back to, not to change the subject, but it goes back to like people buy from these guys, right? But I mean, these are probably not Masons, probably overseas, mass
Right.
producing stuff that they're not even affiliated with, but we buy things from them all the time. But if you have a brother Mason that's actually offering value, and he's offering a service to a Mason, we want like a square deal. We want a discount, or in like a lodge's case, we want it done for free. But we don't have any problem buying things from these people. But as soon as a brother Mason's trying to provide for his family,
Well,
or
not
make
even
money,
yeah, not even them, but China.
yeah, that too.
Guess who makes a lot of the emblems and things for all the medals and all that kind of stuff? The coins that we have, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of it is made in China.
And I don't know where this mentality came from, because we've talked before, like there were lodges in the quote unquote golden era, when the membership was so high. They were doing like hundreds, in some cases, like no exaggeration, thousands of people going through the degrees every year.
Right.
Right. And I mean, that's more than one degree per night. And so
Well, there were lodges that were open every night, and they had different shifts
well
of
the instructors had to be paid. They had to charge people to teach them their work, because
yes.
otherwise it was a full-time job, because so many people were going through.
Well, and the secretary and the Tyler.
And the secretary and the Tyler, yeah. Well, think of all the paperwork they had to do. And so we didn't bat an eye at that time of paying them money. And now we look back, it's like, oh my gosh, charging someone to teach them, that's unheard of. You're providing value to these people. And I'm not suggesting charge people to teach them, but I'm saying, and I've had the same conversation with, oh golly, totally slipped my mind, but like Brothers for Brother podcasts and stuff.
Right.
And it's like, man, if you're offering, they're like, yeah, we have merchandise, I just don't really push it, just because I don't want to seem like I'm trying to sell things. It's like, dude, if you're offering value, you should. You should. If people are finding value in your content, and if you have a hat with your emblem on it, push it. Because
and I would even say that even people that outsource to have things made or whatever, if they're putting in all the work to develop the products and to develop the line, because face it, a lot of your regalia guys, they're getting it made somewhere, and so, but they're putting in the work to do that, and they're putting in the investment to make it available to us.
Yeah.
So we should definitely, and you're right, that person on that podcast should definitely push their products.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean,
the only reason I hadn't pushed any lately is because I'm busy pushing the summit, because I've been working hard on that.
Well, you kind of gotta pick and choose, right? Are we pushing memberships? Are we pushing tickets? Are we pushing merchandise? I mean, people only have so much money, right? So you got to recommend what the priority is at that time, and the priority right now is the summit.
Yeah, the summit's the priority, and we've invested a lot in it. So, it's going to be the utmost quality.
Mm-hmm.
But later on, we'll worry about merchandise again. But right now, that's the priority, because it's going to bring so much value to our brothers in Texas and beyond. We've got brothers coming from Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, Oklahoma. They're all coming to the summit. So it's our job to give the best value that we can for them investing in the product that we're offering.
Yeah.
That's our duty.
Yeah. Made in the USA is huge to me also, Zach. I think that's very important. We need to.
I worry about that when it comes to, I try to on a lot of things,
mm-hmm.
but more especially in my cars, because that's big money. And that's going, if you buy a car that's foreign made, that money's going to that foreign made company. It may support some American factory workers, but the profit is going to that manufacturer, that the owner of that company in another country.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's my thought on that.
I agree. All right. Well, it's almost 10:30. We got 6 viewers. I say we wrap it up for the evening, man. I'm kind of feeling. I woke up way earlier than usual today, so I'm feeling a little tired, I guess you say.
Man, I hit 20 hours overtime this week. I'm exhausted, and they called me and asked me to work again today.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
It's Sunday.
Man, I got to mow my yards. I
haven't been on the mobile yard in like 3 weeks because it's been raining. Like yesterday we talked, you and I could hear thunder coming in. And we had a real bad storm after I got the phone with you, like trees all down and everything.
Yeah, we had that this morning.
Supposedly it's supposed to rain again tonight. So like every evening, my point is like every evening for the last 3 weeks, we've had either a storm, luckily no tornadoes, right? but a
Yeah.
storm or rain or something, and I haven't been able to mow. The grass is happy, but I haven't been able to mow or anything.
Yeah, if I had a little tiny wheel mower, I would not have been able to mow. Thanks to my zero turn, I got it done.
Yeah,
But
Zach Smith, if you do end up moving to Texas, just be aware of tornadoes. If you get a place with a tornado shelter, even better.
Zach just asked me. Zach just asked me where to move, and I'll help you out.
Not this
I've
dude lives
lived
in
all over
Goliad. Don't
Texas.
take his advice on where to live.
Hey man, I I'm making bank in Goliad, so
Oh, okay. But my old house had a tornado shelter. Yeah, we used it a lot. I haven't really needed it here in town, but
I love tornado shelters. I
yeah,
love them.
it depends. Like when we first moved there, it was moist and had all kinds of things living in it. Right, so we had to put quite a bit of work into it. But yeah, Gene's heading out. Take care, Gene. Thanks for hopping in, brother. But yeah, once you had it, like it's you don't stress as much when storms come, right? Because you're like, I got
Right.
somewhere safe. But we don't have anything here. But it's a newer house. We got we got we got places we can go. But yeah, tornado shelters
Down
are very good to have.
Yeah, if you're in Tornado Alley, that's important. I agree.
Yeah,
I'm not really in Tornado Alley, so I don't really worry about that so much. And the hurricanes, they're you can see them coming, so you
yeah.
can leave.
If you live in the Metroplex, just go to Cowboy Stadium if there's a tornado, because nothing ever touched down. There's never any kind of touchdown there.
Ah, 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 ah. I was just thinking to myself, man, I've seen 100 tornadoes go down 20. I've seen 100. I've seen 100 tornadoes go down I-20. What are you talking
Yeah.
about? No touchdown. Man, that was just wrong. You know, how can you call yourself a Texan? How can you
uh,
call yourself an American?
I remember last time the Cowboys won the Super Bowl. Right, I was a little boy, a very little boy,
Oh my
and
gosh.
ever since then,
Last
like,
time the
this
Cowboys
is
won a
it.
Super
This
Bowl,
is the year.
I actually
This is the year. This is when they come back. This is finally it. This is the year. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. That time has passed. It's gone.
yeah. Yeah, that legacy is gone.
Yeah.
But think about that. When you think about legacy, think about the legacy they made. They'll never be forgotten. They're always the kings. They're always the champs.
Yeah.
Nobody else after is even thought of in the same realm. So when you're thinking about your own legacy,
Hey, going back to
how do you want to
the importance of dressing the part and creating a legacy. If you talk about
showing up?
Dallas Cowboy coach, who comes to mind? Starts with
Oh no.
Tom Landry, man. Tom Landry's who comes to mind. Dress the part, man.
Well, Tom Landry, yeah, he was badass. I love that
I
boy.
don't even know who the coach is now. I don't even keep up with that stuff.
Now,
Tom Landry, though. You remember Tom Landry?
they've gone through so many. That's why I didn't know who exactly you were talking about.
Well, should have been the first
'Cause
one that
they've
probably came
gone
to.
through some-
It,
It's Jimmy Johnson, man. It's been a
Jimmy John's?
because Jimmy came.
Jimmy John's?
Jimmy
The sandwich
Johnson.
place? That explains why they're not winning football. If the sandwich.
No, that
The
was a
sandwich
long
shop was
time ago.
coaching.
Last time they won a championship.
Oh. David
I've
Lawson
got that.
says.
I've got his jacket still.
Oh, you stole his jacket?
No, I bought it.
Oh, he sold it to you.
No, there was one made specifically for him. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
How'd you get it? It was made for
bought
him.
it.
How'd you get it? You steal it?
Oh my gosh. You're such a dad. You're gonna be a great grandfather.
Yeah, Tornado Alley just keeps you on your toes. It does, especially this time of year. I don't stress
Oh,
about it
yeah.
as much as I used to. Like when I was younger, like anytime there was a storm, I got real stressed out. Of course, I live in a double wide at the time. Now I live in a real house. Being in a trailer double wide really stresses you out a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah. All right, man. It's late. I got work tomorrow. I'm gonna turn to a pumpkin.
Yeah, you got to get your rest so you can show up.
Yep. I got York right tomorrow. We're having some brothers come to visit, so it's gonna be a good time. I gotta be sure I'm rested for it.
Nice.
Is
Nice.
is Austin still here? Or did Austin leave? Austin White. He's been very quiet. So Austin, if you're still here, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll see you either way. You just won't know it. So anyway, yeah. Good night. Good night, Oscar. Good night, Zach. Good night, Dennis. Good night,
Good night,
Moon.
everybody.
Good night,
Keep it between the
Moon.
points.
See
Oh
you
my
later.
gosh. It's so funny.
All right. Deuces.
At least I have purpose.